If you've ever started a compost pile with nothing but cardboard and leaves, you probably noticed something frustrating. It just sits there. The pile doesn't heat up, decomposition slows to a crawl, and months later, you still have dry leaves and flattened cardboard. That's because while both cardboard and leaves are useful composting materials, they're missing one critical piece of the puzzle. To turn them into living fertile compost, you need to activate the pile with the right ingredients. Today, I'll share exactly what to add, why it works, and how you can transform those dry brown ingredients into rich living soil food for your garden. Leaves and cardboard are both considered browns in composting language. They're rich in carbon, which is important, but carbon alone won't get the microbial party started. Composting depends on a balance of carbon and nitrogen. Too much carbon, and the pile is cold and slow. Too much nitrogen, and it goes slimy and smelly. Cardboard and leaves are almost pure carbon, which means they need nitrogen-rich materials, often called greens, to bring them to life. Without greens, the pile won't heat up, microbes won't multiply, and you won't get that dark, crumbly compost your garden loves. The easiest way to balance a pile of cardboard and leaves is to add your everyday kitchen scraps. Fruit peels, vegetable trimmings, coffee grounds, and even crushed eggshells are all nitrogen-rich additions that help fire up microbial activity. As soon as those scraps hit the pile, bacteria begin breaking them down, generating heat and releasing nutrients. Combined with the carbon from the leaves and cardboard, the compost process accelerates. The key is to chop scraps into smaller pieces and mix them well so they break down quickly instead of sitting in big clumps. If you want to activate your compost fast, grass clippings are honestly one of the best ingredients you can add. They're high in nitrogen, full of moisture, and break down rapidly, creating heat that spreads throughout the pile. Just be careful not to add thick, wet layers on their own. They can mat down and turn anaerobic. The trick is to layer grass clippings between dry leaves or shredded cardboard so they stay aerated while fueling the decomposition. This combination balances moisture, carbon, and nitrogen beautifully. For gardeners with access to livestock manure, whether from chickens, rabbits, cows, or horses, this is one of the most powerful activators you can use. Manure is naturally nitrogen-rich and teeming with microbes that supercharge decomposition. When mixed into a leaf and cardboard pile, it doesn't just heat things up, it inoculates the compost with a thriving microbial community. That microbial diversity is what eventually makes your finished compost alive, resilient, and beneficial for plants. Just make sure the manure is not from animals fed with hay treated with herbicides like Grazon, which can contaminate your soil. Even if you add all the right greens, your compost won't thrive without proper moisture and oxygen. A dry pile is a dead pile. Aim for the texture of a wrung-out sponge, damp but not soggy. If your leaves and cardboard are bone dry, sprinkle water as you build the layers. Aeration is just as important. Turn your pile regularly, or at least poke holes through it with a garden fork to bring oxygen into the center. Microbes need that air to breathe and keep decomposition active. Cardboard and leaves alone will never turn into compost quickly. They're great sources of carbon, but to activate them and bring the pile alive, you need nitrogen-rich additions like kitchen scraps, grass clippings, or manure. Add in proper moisture and airflow, and suddenly the biology wakes up. The pile heats, microbes multiply, worms move in, and in time, you're left with living, fertile compost that feeds your garden naturally. If this guide helped you understand how to bring cardboard and leaf compost to life, subscribe to Gentle Herb Living for more natural gardening strategies. And don't forget to share this with another gardener who's struggling with slow compost. It might just save their soil building efforts.